My name is Jisele and I love pharmacy. I'm 16. Most people think pharmacy is only about handing out pills, but that's just the surface. For me, pharmacy is half detective work, half a kind of caring magic, an art that mixes science, patience, and empathy. At home in my room, tucked under the window where the sunlight pours in, I keep what I call my feel-better box. It's worn at the edges from years of curious hands. Inside are my dried herbs in tiny glass jars, peppermint, ginger, fennel, chamomile, with handwritten labels curling at the corners. In the corner, I keep thin vials and a battered spiral notebook, its pages folded and smudged with notes and sketches. My secret lab, disguised as a box. Sometimes I just open the box and breathe in the mix of scents, letting ideas for helping swirl in my mind. My cousin Rami and I have always been close. He's 17, a little awkward, always laughing at his own jokes, at least he used to. But lately, I noticed something was off. Rami wasn't himself. He stopped rushing through the door with funny stories. Instead, he kept to himself and hardly smiled. Every time we ate dinner together, I saw him pushing food around his plate, then quietly holding his stomach when he thought no one noticed. The grown-ups said, "It's probably school stress," or "He'll grow out of it." But I knew Rami better than that. Something wasn't right. That night, I flipped open my science notebook. Across the top of a fresh page, I wrote, "Rami, stomach mystery." For a week, I watched, quietly collecting the evidence. I made lists of what Rami ate at every meal, marking the days when his stomach aches were the worst. I asked him gentle questions, not too pushy, letting him sketch out where it hurt and when it started. His answers weren't always exact, but his drawings told a story. After a while, a pattern jumped out at me: dairy. Every time Rami ate something cheesy or creamy, the stomachache would follow. The clues all pointed in one direction. He might not be digesting dairy the way everyone else does. I drew a red box in my notebook and filled it with a list: milk, cheese, ice cream. Next to it, a sad face. I called it the no-no list, but I couldn't just take things away without a plan. It's not just about rules, it's about relief. I started making soothing herbal teas for Rami, fennel for calming, ginger for easing, chamomile to help him rest. Each night I'd sit across from Rami in the living room, pouring tea into his favorite blue mug. I watched his face while he sipped, the first time cautious, then surprised when the ache faded to tolerable. He started laughing again, first a reluctant snort, then bigger, brighter. It was like watching color return to a faded photograph. A week later, I asked Rami if he wanted to come with me to see the doctor. "Rami, how about we go see the doctor? Maybe they can help figure this out for good." At the clinic, while his parents chatted with the doctor, I gently slid my notebook forward. I explained the patterns I'd seen, the reactions to dairy, how the teas had helped. The doctor flipped through the pages, eyebrows rising higher as she read my notes. "You might be onto something," she finally said. "Let's run a test for lactose intolerance." It turned out I was right. All those months of discomfort had a simple explanation, one the adults had missed. Rami's face lit up as the doctor explained. He wasn't too sensitive or too anxious. He just needed different fuel for his body. That day, I claimed a new title in my notebook, Healing Detective. I realized being a pharmacy lover isn't just about mixing formulas or memorizing facts. It's about noticing what others overlook, actually listening, connecting dots, and caring enough to ask why. It's standing up and sharing what you see, even if your voice feels small or uncertain. Back in my room, I started a new project in my Feel Better box, a section called Clues and Cures. One side is for clues, strange symptoms, odd patterns, questions nobody else quite remembers to ask. The other is for cures, herbs that calm, routines that comfort, new ideas inspired by curiosity, science and empathy, side by side. Someday, I want to work in a real lab, discovering how tiny details can help someone feel whole again. Or maybe I'll open a pharmacy, one where no one's in a rush, and where people can ask anything and understand the answers, where healing always begins with noticing and listening. For now, I keep my box close, ready for the next puzzle, because I believe every body tells a story, sometimes softly, in ways only the observant hear. If you listen carefully and care enough to ask, you can help that story find its happy ending. I'm Jisele, and I love the art and the heart of pharmacy.